Most beginners think that moving out your queen quickly is what wins wars. But Paul Morphy showed us that it's the whole army that matters. So, who was Paul Morphy? Well, he was the strongest American player of his time, a child prodigy. He was a prolific lawyer in New Orleans, and his opponent's name was James McConnell, another lawyer who was close friends with Morphy and was also quite a strong amateur player. The game we're about to watch shows the importance of developing your pieces and the disadvantages of moving out your queen too early. It was played in 1849. Paul Morphy has the white pieces, and the game began with e4. McConnell defended with e5. Knight f3 attacks the pawn, and the best move here, really, to defend the pawn is knight c6. But McConnell played something different. Queen f6. Yes, it defends the pawn, but it does bring out the queen too early. This opening is a mistake, and it's named after this famous loss. It's called the McConnell defense. So knight c3. Okay, what's the point of knight c3? Right? We're trying to get into this d5 square to attack the queen, but also attack this pawn on c7, which would be another fork. Already the position's looking dicey. Black played c6 to defend the d5 square, but in doing so, they don't really try to do any opening principles, right? The things you should do at the start of the game is put your pawns in the center if you can, bring out your knights and bishops, and castle your king. So far, white's doing a great job. Black is not, and they've just stopped their knight from getting out. Morphy, on the other hand, struck with d4. Okay, so pawn takes pawn. Black is attacking white's knight, but white doesn't necessarily need to move it. Generally, if your piece is getting attacked, just move it out the way. But if your opponent's moved out their queen, you actually have the privilege now to attack it. You see, this is the bad part about moving out your queen early. It has to just run away. Black doesn't have the luxury of taking the knight. They're going to lose their own queen. They must run. Notice the knight defends the pawn, so queen g6. Now, once again, this knight is under attack, but bishop d3, attacking the queen again. Black got a bit greedy here. They took the pawn on g2, attacking the rook. But after rook g1, notice the queen is attacked and it's almost trapped, right? The queen defends the knight. The knight defends the rook and the pawn. The king defends this pawn, and the rook attacks everything on the g-file, including the queen. There's only one space for the queen, h3. Morphy did not let up. Rook g3, queen h5, rook g5, queen h3. And then he actually undeveloped a piece just for the sake of attacking the queen. Okay, queen e6. Now finally, this knight has been attacked this whole time. Only now does Morphy deal with the threat and attacks the queen again. So Morphy is getting out all these pieces, and black just has to run around with the queen. Queen e7, knight e4. These knights are centralized, and black finally has one move to breathe. They should definitely try to get out their pieces, something like d5 or g6, try to get out the bishops, try to get out the knights. They played h6, not improving their position at all. And once again, the rook is under attack. We could just move it to safety, but instead Morphy attacks a piece of higher value. Now, I'm not going to get into the specifics of why this is a blunder, because it is a little bit complicated of what Morphy should have played. Very simply, black could have given this check, which is a fork, unless you save the knight with knight c3, and now the rook is en prise. So yeah, this wouldn't be that good. But the position is very tricky. The best move in the position was knight d6 check, which leads to, something very similar to what happened in the game. But okay, knight f5 was played. Now, it's important to note that black did not take the free pawn on e5, because there is a nice little tactic to win the queen. See if you can pause the video to find it. Knight takes g7, check. The rook defends the knight, so the queen can't take it, and otherwise the rook will take the queen. So in the game, McConnell played queen e6. Very understandable. Now, notice Morphy's attention shifts from the queen, the most powerful piece, to the king, the most important one. So, bishop takes, knight takes, check, king d8. Once again, this rook is under attack, but black just doesn't have time to take it. Now, white should keep developing all their pieces the best that they can, and should eventually try to castle. How can we try to develop one of these pieces without losing the rook? Bishop c4. A lovely move. Notice that the bishop is defended here, okay, and we're attacking the queen. And also note just how well these two pieces will coordinate. Knights and bishops are great when you can get them coordinated together. So queen e7 was what was played, and now knight takes f7 check, and notice now the bishop defends the knight. And this is a fork. So the king moved to c7, and yeah, look, you could take the rook, but there's no real point if you're just going to lose yours back. Instead, Morphy sort of went, okay, black has one, maybe two pieces developed, the king and the queen. I have three, and I can get rid of one of their pieces by trading it off. Queen d6 check. Lovely move. This forces a queen trade. After queen takes queen, do we take back with the knight or the pawn? The pawn, right? We want to keep attacking valuable pieces. We don't want to lose our rook. Check. The knight covers the pawn. It covers this square here on d8. There's only one space for the king. And now we can keep developing our pieces with attack. Bishop e3 check. It's very close to checkmate, right? The king can't move anywhere, but it can block. It's the only move. Bishop takes c5 check. The rook covers it. King a5. And now you'd love to move this bishop to give it a discovery check. The only issue is wherever you move it, you're going to lose your rook. So finally, the rook gets saved. Rook g3. And it sets up an unstoppable checkmate. White didn't even have time to castle in this game. b5 tried to complicate things, but after rook a3 checkmate, black is in shambles. Just notice, right? Those opening principles. Okay, white didn't get to castle, but they could have. White has total domination over the center. White has almost every single one of their pieces out, and their king is safe. Compared to black's position, black has no pieces out, no control of the center, and really as a result, their king is checkmated on the side of the board. This all happened because black brought out their queen too early. Hopefully, this is an instructive example for you. Do not bring out your queen early. Please think about the development of your pieces, but also this should excite you, right? If your opponent brings out their queen early, you can start sort of rubbing your hands together and getting excited. So try to copy Morphy, and good luck with your chess. Oh, and also, I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I would very much appreciate it, especially if you made it this far, to like and subscribe. Thanks.